an easy hit. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a problem. But so that's just like one of many instances, man, where I learned to be disciplined. I pick and choose who I wanted. And most guys, they're gonna automatically just fall into, okay, I'm gonna hit that. When you see a chick, like, yeah, I want that, I want to hit that. But what? What is the whole purpose of you actually getting with the chick? All right, you getting with the chick just to smash. Ultimately, you're discarding your God form. The whole purpose of you actually being in God form, which the scriptures say, he created man in the likeness of his image. What is the likeness of his image? I don't get, even if you don't do the whole church thing, our God form is creation. To create. You reach a God level when you create. And man, I know I'm definitely going a little bit where I hadn't gone before, but the whole thing, as far as you being on your square, doing what it is that you do, working how you're supposed to work, it then brings the woman to you because you walk a certain way. You seem different. And when they get around you, you are different. Because anytime you walk that way, it's bringing the woman to you so you allow you into walking your ultimate God form. What is the ultimate God form? When you get around women, women inspire you to do certain things. This is why you used to be totally in control of who you are, because the minute you can then turn around and get around her, and she then turns around and edifies you, like in the manner of Ruth does, it allows you to be in the God form. You automatically working is automatically going to put you at a higher form, because there are going to be men aspiring to be like you. But when you start creating in the ultimate form of creation, is to create a whole nother new human being. And the only way you can do that is with a woman. You can only create children as a man with a woman. So they are extremely important. They are important to your God form and being in the image of God, because the image of God, what is the whole creation story? Even if you don't believe the creation story should be teaching you how to create. It's giving you the blueprint for your life. Work, reproduce with a woman, which then allows you to create. What then it then gives you the ability to do. It then gives you the ability, what I say on a lot of my videos, which is the whole foundation, is it allows you to walk in masculinity, which I tell you, true masculinity is teaching. You need that woman to do that. So it's imperative that you pick the right one, that you pick the one who comes to you and shows interest in you and everything it is you're doing. This is why I also had on the video why I said I don't ask them what they bring to the table. They're not my table either. I've already said that. My foundation and table is the atmosphere that I've already set. So when she comes, she's coming to usher me into my ultimate God form. And when I understand my ultimate God form, that's the number one reason why I have custody of my son. It's because I understand my God form. I understand I'm walking in the image, the true image. Do you really think what that story is not telling you, that he's teaching Adam everything within the garden? The garden? That's why the adversary comes in part of that story and says what he says. No, such and such and such and such. And more or less, that was more or less part of well, that's hypothetically that God could have turned around and told him the stuff that the serpent told him. But there was probably a more set in time to where he wanted that possibly to be revealed. Like they haven't reached the maturity age or maturity point in knowing that information. And why? No, I don't want you touching that yet. But that's just my opinion. But the harsh reality of the matter is, you walk in your ultimate form when you have your own child. When you create your own child, you get to see yourself, your image. That is your image. And it should be within you to turn around and do the necessary things to make sure your image is fruitful, to make sure your image turns around and does everything necessary. This is why it's a struggle. I'm so appreciative of experiencing the things that I did as far as church go, because I see how it relates to when I'm actually doing the things that I do with my son. And then when he rebels and do certain things or don't do what it is I tell him to do, it takes my mind instantly goes back to some of these scriptures that I read in the Old Testament of how God takes the Hebrews as his children and they're doing all the things that they're not wanting them to do. And it's like, bruh, like, this is how God actually feels, and based on these stories. And it's like, man, it makes me better. It makes me more mature. Like, all right, cool. How do I do this? How do I shore up this? My teaching gets refined. But I can't achieve none of this if I'm actually going out here and go chase a woman. And this is why, another reason why that Boaz story is existing. It's teaching you something there. Not to do the opposite. Be on your square. Do your work. They will come to you. The same, if you build it, they will come. If you do the work, they will come. Like, people are like, it's not that deep. But when you think about it, a lot of stuff is like, man, that's actually deep. Or that touches over there. And not and in the deep form of, oh, okay, it's like the roots. The roots go down deep. Oh, it's touching here. It's touching there. It's touching over there. This is how I deal with deep. It's like roots. It's touching in various places. And it's extending over here to extend over there to when it gets to the surface, you sing life. This is all.